I'm calling it the biggest discussion and conversation that's going to be happening once the Super Bowl ends and the dust settles on 2023 and we're on to 2024 is going to be, what do the Chicago Bears do with Justin Fields? I pulled a couple of clips. We're going to get into the tape and look at it. And this is less about Justin Fields' ability, and this is more, do the Bears think that whether they take Caleb or maybe even Drake May, take a quarterback with that number one pick, can they at minimum replicate Justin Fields' production, or obviously hopefully get more production, which is why you would move on from one quarterback to the next. As far as the options that the Bears have, they've got three key options. One, they can keep Justin Fields, use that number one pick, trade that number one pick, whatever, but keep Justin Fields and pick up his fifth-year option, which would be $23 million for this year. Second option, they can keep Justin Fields and decline that fifth-year option, pay him less, and kick that can down the road for one more year, which also I believe sets him up to be an unrestricted free agent. Or three, they can trade Justin Fields for whatever the market is for Justin. I'm not speculating on that. I think it's high, by the way. And select a quarterback with the number one pick, which most people would say is probably going to end up being Caleb. Now, I'm not going to say what I would do if I was the GM of the Bears. The Bears are going to do what the Bears need to do, but I am going to get into the tape a little bit and give you some context as you see and hear and read all about everybody's opinions on what they should and shouldn't do coming up the next couple of months, so you can determine for yourself what you would do. But before we do, if you or a quarterback in your life is trying to be one of these subjects on a platform like this someday and ball out at quarterback, send them to the QB Summit Tour. I've got 8 stops around the country. Middle school, high school quarterbacks. I've done like 50 of these things and no one's ever asked for their money back. It's the best way I can help somebody literally take a step in their career over a 2-day weekend, so check that out. Now, let's get into this Justin Fields tape. First off, this is playing the Commanders. They're up 10 in this game, but this is 3rd and 6, and they're in the red zone. What we're gonna have here is this is gonna look and feel like slant flat, okay? For this set of DBs right here, these 3 or 4 guys, we want this to look and feel like slant flat, but it's really going to be a sluggo off of it, okay? So right here, this flat route's going to turn into a whip. This slant, even though I don't think this is a great route, is going to turn into a sluggo slant go, for those of you who've heard that and wondered what they meant. And because of the coverage, which is essentially brackets coverage right here, okay? So we're basically going to be inside leverage man, doubled, inside leverage man, and then this DB right here is going to either help out here, as you see this corner jump to outside leverage, or end up doubling the back, depending on what his route is. Either way, brackets, we've got man-to-man across the board, but on each side, we're going to double somebody. So this is actually a great concept because you've got a slant go versus an inside leverage defender up top. Looks like number 29. Again, not a great route. This guy kind of cuts off his inside foot up top on the slant. Doesn't really sell it. But either way, Justin Fields. Now, you can practice this throw all day long, and you can go ahead and get routes on there and do your thing. But there's no way to simulate throwing this ball and then getting absolutely smoked by, I think, Deron Payne. Whoever it is, he's got 100 pounds on Justin. But look at this ball placement. So right here, let's see, if you watched my Brock Purdy video last week, which if you haven't, check it out. It was one of my favorites. But his hands are coming apart right here. Right here, he's loading, getting ready to throw, okay? So this is the picture he sees, right? We can sit here and go, oh, that ball's got to be right here, not right here. Well, hold on. Like, it wasn't throwing to his friend at the park standing there. He had to throw it, and that's the picture he saw right there, okay? So Justin decides to keep him on the run. He's got 29's back turned to him, but not completely. So 29, if you leave this ball, if you throw a back shoulder right here, by the way, like 29 might go the other way with that. Justin keeps him on the run over the top. This is great ball placement. Gives his guy a chance to get 2 in. You know, if that ball's like pushed another yard or 2 down the field, it might be a sick throw and look perfect, but there's not enough space for the receiver to get his feet in, and that's on the quarterback. And Justin does a great job getting this thing up and down, catches it, gets 2 in here. Here's what Justin sees. Okay, we've got a 4-down front right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6-man box. Hey, they got some pass rushers here. Justin gets turned off. He's great. He's lined up directly at his target right here. He's in a great spot. He kind of sinks and loads into this stuff. But steps in, gets absolutely smoked. And then this ball placement, keeping that guy on the run. This is the only place you can put this. Again, if this ball's thrown and layered like nicely outside, I think 29, St. Juice, who's a really good player, I think he turns around and takes that thing the other way. So great decision by Justin, keeping him on the run. Us or nobody ball. And his boy, DJ Moore, is able to come down with what looks like a circus catch and an incredible play, which I just think for really talented quarterback, really talented receiver, it's actually a routine play, but nonetheless, it's a complete and it counts for 6. All right, next clip. This is 2nd and 20, 1-point ball game, divisional opponent in the Detroit Lions. And let's take a peek at this. This is an interesting coverage, okay? So I'll let it play here for a second. So they're lining up, okay? This safety's skied down. This safety's walking over here. Typically, that means that's not where they're going. And this is, in this case, those guys are going to rock and roll. I talked about it in the Purdy video. He's coming back. He's not just coming down. Okay? He's actually coming down, and he's going to end up doubling Darnell Mooney right here. Okay? Call this cut the crosser. It's cover one attach. There's a lot of different terms for it, okay? But really, everybody's playing man right here. Okay? Even the linebacker, 55's got the running back out of the backfield, okay? We got a 4-man rush, got a little game up front, and they're getting pressure on him. But a lot of times man, and maybe this is like what they saw during the week, is, hey, when we play man, they're going to want to hit the over route, and so they're going to cut this and make sure that we cannot throw the ball there. But that also leaves DJ Moore one-on-one. Outside leverage, you're like, all right, outside leverage, we're not going to let him run out, and it's going to be tough to run in because we've got help with this safety, which if you're going to do that, you better hope that the quarterback can't throw it 44 yards on a line, which is exactly what Justin does, and that is an absolute seed right there. Going back, again, pre-snap, I'm thinking this is strong rotation. It goes to weak rotation. He's looking left. We'll look at it from behind here a second, and he sees, oh, crap, they're cutting my crosser. My only option outside of throwing to the back, which is not a bad option, is DJ Moore, inside release, step on his toes. Just watch DJ here up top. It's a great route. Okay? Steps on his toes on this post, and then, boom, gets vertical out of it. Now, again, you throw a lollipop right here, like if this is me, that safety's picking it, okay? But Justin can make some big boy throws. Look at him just decelerate, drive into this, and this thing is a piss missile. DJ Moore right in stride. Let's look at his eyes. So he's seeing this rotation. They're cutting my crosser. 21 down here is waiting on my over route. So I'm either gonna throw this up to DJ. Oops, I got a free runner. Throwing this up to DJ, or I'm kicking it out to my back. 2nd and 20. He wants it all. And again, Justin Fields can't throw the ball down the field. He's not accurate. Well, I don't know where else you put this ball than right there. Second play, that's a dime. And I get it. You can pull up any NFL quarterback and find dimes. But I don't think you can pull up any NFL quarterback and find this particular type of dime. Just my opinion. Super impressive. Not just seeing it, but seeing what they're taking away and climbing, dealing with conflict, and getting myself right before the line of scrimmage and pushing the ball down the field on 2nd and 20. Divisional 1-point game. I like it. All right, third one. They got the Cardinals, and you say, oh, the Cardinals aren't that good this year. Gannon was dialing it up on defense, regardless of personnel. They played some really good defense this year, so let's look at this concept. We're going to have DJ Moore run a pylon. You can call it a lot of different things, a deep V. It's essentially, a lot of times this concept's accompanied with a post outside, tight split into the boundary. I don't love it because I don't know that there's a ton of space to throw this, but nonetheless, they did it. Then we're going to have Cole Kmet on this sail route here. And it's not a traditional sail route where we get width, okay? Because we have DJ Moore coming this way first and getting vertical, this is going to feel like an over route. Then they're going to end up out of it. And then we've got this kind of jet sweep that ends up being this flat route over here. So as you can see, Justin faking to the back. Cole Kmet, early on, this looks like he's running an over route, okay? And then, boom, puts his foot in the ground. And then you've got DJ who ends up being that pylon. If number 3, Buda Baker, instead of being right here, is right here, then DJ Moore is live down the sideline. Okay. And then let's just watch Justin. No pressure on this one, but this is a tight window, and it's a scary throw because this corner, I always say there's certain interceptions a quarterback has to throw to know he can't throw that ball again, right? Coach can say, hey, don't watch out for that corner lingering out there, that cover 2 corner or whatever it is. Some balls, whether it's practice or game, you got to throw it so that it like burned into your memory. Like, I can't do that. And I guarantee anybody who's made it to the NFL has thrown a pick on a sail concept to that guy. I certainly have. I know a lot of people have too. Okay? That's why this ball has to be ripped and has to be up. If this ball's on his hip, the corner can dive into it. But right here, he's throwing this over that corner, and I don't think it's a lucky throw. I think he knew that. I know he had to get eyes on this guy. He said no to DJ early on because of Buddha's depth. Now this guy's in a vertical bind, right, between that little swing route, if you want to call it that, and he knows Cole's coming in here. Now another option is to throttle Cole in the hole. That's not what he does. He rips this thing and puts it where Cole can get it and protect himself. Really good movement right there, riding with this right here. That's holding 34 and 51. Watch 34 right here, okay? What's that fake do? Well, let's watch 34. It gets their eyes. It's not that he moves them. It gets their eyes on him to allow Cole to get through here without having to deal with linebackers. If they just drop back and throw, those linebackers are going to get a piece of them, or they're going to be taught to. Instead, Cole gets essentially a clean release, selling this over route. Boom, right foot in the ground, cuts off of it. Justin knows where he's going with this ball, and this is a seed. Boom. Great ball placement over that corner, allows Cole to get in there and make a play. So Justin Fields, there's 3 plays right there for you. There's a bunch more. I didn't put any runs on there. There's a long list. Go on YouTube for those. But when it comes to what the Bears are going to do, yes, there's a bunch of things that you want Justin to have gotten better at, or we wish that he could do those things. I think you can say that about most quarterbacks. When it comes to what they're going to do moving forward with the draft and replacing him with the number 1 overall pick, I think it's more salary cap. What do they want to do from a budget perspective, from a cap management perspective? And then, honestly, what do they really believe about Caleb Williams? And I'll throw Drake May's name in there as well. What do they really believe about this rookie class? And what is the difference between where Justin is right now and where those guys can be? I know Bears fans are going to have a strong opinion about what they should do this year, but I want to just throw a word at you. Patience. Let's rewind the clock 12 months. The Bears had the number 1 pick last year. They traded it to Carolina. They moved to 9. What did they get? Well, they got DJ Moore. DJ Moore this year, 96 receptions, 1,300 plus yards, and 8 touchdowns. That's career highs in all 3 categories, and still end up this year with a chance to get the number 1 pick. So they could have had Bryce or CJ last year. Now they can have Caleb or Drake. So these fans who want it right now, look at what 12 months has done for your organization. You got the star receiver who's productive. It's not potential. It's not like DJ Moore could be good down the road. He just had a career high year in every single really relevant category. And you still got a chance with the number 1 pick. And you still got a quarterback who I think there's going to be a strong market for if you decide to move on. So patience is a good word when you are heading into February, March, April, and looking at what your favorite team is going to do in free agency and ultimately the draft.